hi there. I didn't see you there. Okay, so my name is Julissa Abrego. I am in Miss Yoder's 4th period for Honors American Literature. Today we'll be discussing what I decided to do for my final project. I decided to do research a problem in your community and find a solution to it. So the problem that I decided to choose were badges. This little thing that we have to wear around our neck every single day to school. The reason why we wear it is, for security reasons, to make sure that everyone is who they are, or to make sure that everyone has it, and it's also, what you use at lunch, and that sort of stuff. So I thought it was a problem, not because we have the badges, but because of the consequences students face when they forget their badges at home. Me being one of them, because of the consequences that I've encountered when I forgot my badge at home. The consequences that come with forgetting your badge at home will be resulting in spending the whole day in ISS or having to pay $7 for the badge, the lanyard, and the pocket. And I mean, nobody really wants to waste $7 in buying a new badge when they, one day out of the week forgot their badge at home. I am in no way saying that we shouldn't have badges, because I definitely think that we should. They're a good way to, make sure students are who they say they are, and also when you go to lunch, to have them is just easier, and it's just easier to go, click, click, click. So I've come up with 2 solutions that can be like a reverse thing to having to pay the $7 for having to deal with ISS. So basically, it'll look exactly like your regular badge. It would have your lanyard and then the pocket, but inside it wouldn't be obviously your badge because you don't have it with you. It would just be a yellow slip, and on the yellow slip, the administration can put rental on it, but it'll look exactly the same, and it'll just be a better way for students to, not have to deal with the other things that come with your badges, that come with forgetting your badges at home. So I decided to call my solution the rental badge. It's pretty self-explanatory. The rental badge, however, would not be priced at the same price that comes with buying an actual badge. It'll actually be priced at $2. I decided to choose $2 because $2 would be the same amount of money that you would have to pay in order to buy the lanyard, in order to buy the pocket, which is, if you have your badge, then you could just need to buy those 2 things in order to wear it throughout the day, compared to having to buy the whole, $7 deal. The $7 deal is usually for students who don't have a badge at all, or lost their badges, because then they'd have to buy a new badge. The rental badge, however, would just be I forgot my badge at home and I don't know what to do. I only have $2. I need to buy a rental badge. I think the rental badge is a better solution than having to deal with, ISS and missing out on schoolwork, or having to deal with having to call your parents telling them, hey, can you please come out of work? I need you to come get my badge. Or having to return home and be tardy to school because you had to go get your badge at home, which I've done several times, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of students also have too. So the second solution is, instead of students having to buy a lanyard and the badge, they would just buy the pocket and these really cool things that attach to your book bag. I'm not sure what they're called, however they hold your badge. So as you're walking down the hallway and a teacher goes, hey, where's your badge? All you have to go is, haha, it's right here, it's hooked on to my book bag. So it does make a little bit of noise, I'm sorry about the noise, but it's pretty cool, and it kind of looks cool too. It's just, hanging on your shoulder. I took my book bag off, but anyways, to keep talking about the clip-on thing, the price for this one would actually be a little bit less, just because a pack of 3 at Dollar General is at $2. So these would probably run a little bit less, probably $1 for the clip-on, and then your badge. Hopefully you have your badge to clip it onto. It'll be a little bit easier. I know a lot of students don't really like wearing this as it rubs on your neck, so this one is a little bit easier because just take it off when you take your book bag off when you sit in your desk, or as you're walking down the halls, you just go like this. It's a lot easier than having to worry about having this. So I decided to make a pros and cons list about my solution to this problem. A con for having the badges is having to leave 7th period a little bit earlier in order to go return the rental badge to the front office. There is not really, I didn't come up with a consequence if you don't return the rental badge. However, it's best to return them because there's not going to be that many. I think it'll be better to have the rental badges limited so that students don't manipulate the system the way they've manipulated the system of not bringing your badge with you. I noticed some teachers don't really enforce the ideas of having the badges, but this way it'll be more enforced because students now have, you know, other methods that they can resort to instead of having to deal with ISS or having to deal with buying a new badge in general. You know, this is a lot cheaper, it's a lot easier, which are also part of my pros. It's $2 compared to wasting the $7, but basically it'd be the same amount. Another con that I came up with, which I kind of already talked about, is that it'd be limited. I think it's best to keep it limited just because, like I said, students won't manipulate the system, but also because this doesn't happen often. I noticed that it probably only happens to me maybe once every other week where I forget my badge at home. But my pros will actually make the situation a lot better. I already talked about it being $2 compared to being the $5, but also you don't get ISS. Another pro, I think, comes from a bad part of forgetting your badge at home. I know sometimes I see my classmates having to call their parents being like, "Mom, I forgot my badge, can you please go get it at the house and then return?" I live about 20 minutes from the school. It's pretty much a struggle if my mom had to, you know, drop me off at school and then have to drive back home, get my badge, and then come back. Also, my mom works the morning shift, so she would probably be late to work if she were to do that. Another problem that comes with leaving your badge at home would be, you know, on your way to school having to turn back around because you didn't have your badge and then ending up being late to school. So if my solution, you know, if it doesn't go through or if it's not good enough, I do think that I should share with you guys some tips and tricks that I use in order to, you know, keep it with my badge or to have my badge on me in order to not have to worry about forgetting it at home. So I'm a car rider. My brother drives to school, or sometimes my mom drops me off at school. In that case, I keep a spare badge in the car. I have a spare badge in my brother's car and also have a spare badge in my mom's car. It's just better. It is a little pricey just because badges are $7. So that kind of is a hassle, you know, for my mom having to buy the 2 extra badges at the beginning of the school year. But if I don't have my badge, I just leave them in the car. Obvious other solution that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already do would be taking your badge off when you get home and putting it inside your book bag. That way you don't have to worry about it. If you do not have it around your neck, then you're at school and you're just like, it's in my book bag, let me just take it out really quickly. The next method is actually a method that I use the most often. This is actually extremely helpful for me because it's just a lot easier. So the way that you do it, you grab the hook of your book bag, you slip it through, and then you pull it through again and then bring it down like that. So it just stays hooked onto your book bag. That way you don't have to worry about where it is or if you don't have it on you. These are my 2 solutions for forgetting your badge at home and 2 ways that you can resort to this problem and not having to deal with ISS or having to pay the money. If you have any questions, Real Me will answer them for you. So thank you so much for watching and happy summer. Have a good summer.